My name is Justin Collins, and this is my bus, the Pacific Pioneer, or as I call it, Turbo. It is a 2006 International school bus. It is 24 feet long. I do a lot of traveling up like Forest Service roads and hiking and things like that, and this gets me pretty much everywhere I need to go. Alright, this is the cockpit up here. Kept it mainly the same, just did a little bit of paint, paint job on the front to brighten everything up a little bit. Put lots of unnecessary sound fun in here. So I put a new head unit in. It has Bluetooth, which is awesome, so anyone can connect throughout the bus and doesn't have to be kind of hooked up here. Two 10-inch JL subs, and I put 4 JBL 6x9 speakers in. The subs and the speakers both are run off their own amp, so it gets very loud because I plan on taking this to lots of festivals, but once I do, it'll be kind of the perfect festival vehicle here. All right, and this is one of my couches. I got it at a RV pull-apart a couple hours from me. Was one of my favorite buys, definitely. My girlfriend did a new cover for it with this kind of outdoor themed fabric. I wanted, kind of like a cabin in the woods feel for the whole bus, and built just the box for it under here where I store lots of things, tools, food, store chairs, tents, backpacks, things like that. So it's nice to have all this storage under. And then it just converts really easily into another bed. So just like that, and we're done. This is my shotgun chair right here. So one of the main complaints when I was, looking through other people's builds and, what's good about a school bus, what's bad, is that there's no shotgun seat as opposed to, a Sprinter van or an RV. So I have a pretty simple solution for that. I bought industrial strength cabinet sliders and then built just this box around it. So this whole chair will just slide forward. It'll slide all the way up and then latch into place up here so I can have a shotgun seat. It's been awesome. The first trip I did, I didn't have it in there. And then the second one I did, and it made such a big difference, being able to talk to someone right next to you as opposed to, them sitting behind you. If you have a bus built the similar way, I would do it. It wasn't too difficult to do. It's pretty straightforward. The cabinet sliders are a little expensive because you need to get, heavy duty ones, but it is awesome. And then when it slides back, I also have this handicap door that I wanted to keep, use, because it's just awesome to have this whole thing open up. So I'll strap the whole door back and I'll sit here, and this also rotates. So you can just spin outwards and you can just kind of kick your feet out the door while you're driving around. Growing up on road trips, that was kind of like my family's idea of a vacation, and now it is my favorite way to vacation. And I wanted something, compared to an RV or, something pre-made that I could build exactly how I wanted with the materials I wanted, like decor I wanted, things like that, because school buses or a van, that you build yourself can be a better reflection of yourself, because I wanted to do a build that would allow me to give lots of room for other people to come with me. Can do lots of day trips with all my friends. It sleeps 3 on the inside, but you can throw a tent up on top. I guess I built it, with myself in mind, but to travel with other people as well, and to meet other people and have them be able to come inside and share a drink with them and things like that. All right, and this is my pride and joy, kind of my bar area, bar top. I got this piece of cedar off Craigslist that was much longer and unfinished, so sanded it for a couple hours and finished it with polyurethane. Built the bar myself, just got to make all these little straps to keep the kids in place during the drive. Stole this idea from some skoolie, I don't remember who, but just the twist-on mason jars are awesome for using as cups. These are just all my other storage. I use this for, clothes, things like that. Shout out to Stu the Bus for this idea. These are just boat cleats that I put a bungee cord between here and here, and it keeps all of them shut. And then I have 2 fridges right now. I pretty much only use this one. I'm gonna take this second one out and put a composting toilet in when I have the funds for a $1,000 toilet. But this is nice because I just keep a lot of ice in here so I can make cocktails. All right, this is my Dickinson Marine heater. I think it's the P9000. I'm planning on using this for lots of winter trips through the fall, taking it up to ski resorts. I do a lot of snowboarding, and this has worked awesome. I've used it once so far up at Mount Rainier, got right below freezing, and I was at a couple thousand feet of elevation, and it still ran great, and it was super easy to install. I love it. I have 19 gallons of propane mounted under the bus. This is a propane stove. I use the propane water heater, and then I also have a propane cooktop under here. So this countertop just flips up, and then I just have a chain hooked here, and just a 2-burner stove. This is awesome just to have a little extra counter space, you know, something I can set my raw ingredients at while I'm cooking. I went with this stove kind of opposed to, you know, one of the pretty, you know, lay-in RV stoves, something like that, because this has way higher BTU outputs. A lot of those RV stoves don't get too hot, but this one of these burners has 3 rings of, you know, burners inside, and it can get a pot of water boiling very quickly. So for work to kind of afford this whole thing, I worked in a restaurant in Seattle for a long time that had a little bit pricier of a menu, so lots of good tips. You know, I was living with my parents, so it was letting me just save lots and lots of money, especially in the summer, just working a ton and saving everything to, you know, go into this. For the cost of the bus, it was $4,700 off of Craigslist used. I've probably put in 11 or 12 grand, but that was, you know, going piece by piece. So once I had enough money for the bus, I bought the bus. And then I had to wait till I had more money to buy the flooring, then to buy, you know, the wood for the cabinet. So it was all kind of piece by piece. These older buses are expensive to repair. I had to do, you know, front brakes on it. It needed some electrical work. I did oil changes, transmission fluid changes. It needed a new transmission coolant hose. And you know, that ran 2 grand. My transmission blew, and that was almost 6 grand. You definitely need to have a rainy day fund if you're doing something like this, where if you break down, you have the money to fix it. It's not cheap to keep these going, and it's not cheap to drive them either. So I get like 8.5 miles to the gallon, which is terrible. So I kind of offset that by taking lots of people with me when I go. If I can get 6 people in here, splitting that cost, and 6 people can be in here comfortably, it's very cheap. All right, and this is kind of my sink kitchen station. I knew I wanted a big double bay sink. I came from an RV that had a tiny little sink that you could barely wash a pan in. So I knew I wanted, you know, the double bay. And then I have a pop-up, you know, dish drying rack that I keep under here. Trash cans also under here. So I can dry all my dishes right here. So it's just a very convenient kind of cleaning station. And then this is my water heater. It's a Marine heater. I got it from Home Depot, and it is awesome. A lot of the water heaters say that they won't work above a couple thousand feet. I've had this up to 5,500, I think, over at Mount Rainier, and it worked great. Still got, you know, scalding hot. I have a detachable shower head also that I split off the heater, so I'll throw this out the window and shower outside when I need to, because, you know, I wanted to keep kind of an open concept in here, so I didn't build any separate bathroom, things like that. All right, and this is my back kind of lounge area, living room, if you will. I wanted a big table for lots of people to be able to eat, you know, meals here, play board games, card games, whatever. So I built the whole tabletop myself, actually. It also transitions into a bed. So this will fold down, this leg folds down, lays flat, and then the cushions that are in the back will fold over to the front. And then it's the width of a queen bed, but it's 7.5 feet wide, or long, you know, as wide as the bus is. So it's huge. I like it more than my bed at home, actually. All right, and then got 4 kind of overhead cabinets, 2 on either side, just mirror images. Made it much easier to build them that way. Just little spring latches. Most of them are just carrying random stuff. This one is kind of my electronics bay. I have a little just tap LED light. I use them in all my cabinets. They're super simple. But I have 4 USB chargers in this one because I'm usually rolling around with quite a bit of camera equipment and a drone and things like that, so I need lots of charging stations. So this is kind of my electronics hub right here. Turns on my inverter so I can use 110 volts. I have one outlet here, one in the front. This little knob is all my circular lights, and then this is a battery monitor. It just lets me know where I'm at. So lots of voltage here because we got sun today. On top I have 300 watts of solar and then MPPT charge controller. I bought it just as a set from Renogy and I love it. Definitely recommend it if you're looking into solar. So if you are looking into doing your own conversion, whether it be, van, school bus, shuttle bus, things like that, I would decide first on what you want to use it for. Are you going to be living out of it full time? Do you want lots of room for like a shower and a whole separate bathroom? Is that important to you? Or do you just want something small that you can take across the country really quick and use not a lot of gas? So decide what you're going to use it for first and then go off of that. So I knew primarily this was going to be used for day trips, weekend trips, week-long trips, hopefully get a couple month-long trips in there. So that's why I built it to seat so many people, and I did not include a full bathroom. But if you're going to do this and you have no experience, like I had no experience when I started this, the best piece of advice I could give you is to find people smarter than you. My dad is really good at building, so he helped me with a lot of the designs. I had a mechanic friend who saved me when my parking brake was stuck on for 2 months. I've had other people help with, my girlfriend did all the curtains. Find people that are good at the trades you're gonna need, that are willing to help, and just tell everyone that you're doing this. Because lots of people think it's interesting and are willing to help you, but they have to know that you're doing this in the first place. So my ceiling probably took the longest out of every build process on the bus here. I knew I wanted a wood ceiling. Tongue and groove pine, tongue and groove cedar can get kind of expensive, so I just had to be a little bit more creative. So this is just 4x8 sheets of pretty thin plywood that then I fractal burned. You can look up YouTubes if you want to learn what it is. It's slightly dangerous if you do decide to do it. And then I finished it with just some Danish oil and then some trim pieces just to cover up all the different parts. But it's pretty cool, pretty interesting. And just I wanted to do something unique to my bus that I hadn't seen done before, and this was it. All right, and this is the second level of the bus. So the deck is about 7.5 feet wide and then 12 feet long. So really good size. You can put a tent up here for extra people to sleep if they want. In the tulies, got 2 of them here. I keep tiki torches and a bunch of chairs in this one. I want to get a fold-up table as well, so you just can keep everything up here and not have to take anything up from the downstairs area. And then there are my solar panels. Like I said, 300 watts. And then to get into the Thule, this one is just folds up so I can access the Thule right behind me. This one I just have to use the ladder, but it's awesome having the extra storage, and it was way easier than building something under the bus, and it'll fit all the snowboards I need in winter for me and my friends. All right, thanks for watching. Coming aboard the Pacific Pioneer. Once again, my name is Justin Collins. You can follow me on Instagram. It's just at Pacific_Pioneer. I also have a YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe to that. And thanks for watching.